Obinwannem Global Radio, promoting the culture and traditions of Igbo Nation. Obinwannem Global Radio, the unity of culture of Igbo Nation. Obinwannem Global Cultural Movement Foundation. Our mission: to restore the honor and dignity of Igbo Nation and its citizens, to restore the pride of Ndi Igbo through the re-establishment of our self-esteem in the true spirit of love and support for one another, to ensure that our past trials and tribulations are turned into a glorious future, to rebuild the strength of Ndi Igbo through her bond of unity, to ensure that Igbo Nation reinvent herself and get back on track in order to regain her pride of place in the world, to reinvigorate the ingenuity of Ndi Igbo through self-rediscovery and self-actualizations, to see that no Igbo child or citizen is left behind in the grand scheme of things.
With over 87 million people living in extreme poverty in Nigeria, corruption and poor governance only worsen the situation. That's why Caregivers International Corporation, an American-based organization, is committed to making a difference. We prioritize helping the poor and vulnerable in the 5 Igbo states: Abia, Anambra, Enugu, Ebonyi, and Imo, providing aid to those in need, empowering youth through development programs, and promoting accountability in governance. We believe that those in power must be held responsible for their actions. That's why we'll take any governor to the highest court of law if they abuse their power or engage in corrupt practices even after they've left office. Join us in our mission to create positive change. Follow us on Facebook, X, formerly Twitter, YouTube, and Telegram at Caregivers International Corporation. Together, we can build a brighter future for the vulnerable populations. Signed, Chief Daniel Chika, Chairman, CEO, Caregivers International Corporation.
Obinwannem Global Radio, promoting the culture and traditions of Igbo Nation. Obinwannem Global Radio, the unity of culture of Igbo Nation.
Ndị Igbo ndị ọma na-ege m ntị, ekene m onye ukwu, kenekwa onye nta, wee na-asị nke onye chiri ya zere. Ya mara anyị niile mma n'ụbọchị tata bụ ụbọchị Orie Mmiri n'ala Igbo, ma bụrụkwa ụbọchị anyị ji enye Chukwu okike abịa ma ekene n'ihi ife ọma ha na-emere anyị. Anyị abịagokwa n'ụbọchị tata n'oge Obinwannem Igbo TV, Obinwannem News, ebe a na-agbasa oziọma gbasara omenala Igbo, gbasara njikọ nke ime Igbo n'ụwa niile, oziọma gbasara ife na-eme n'ala Igbo na ihe na-eme na ndụ ụmụ Igbo n'ụwa niile. Dịka anyị si wee bịa n'ụbọchị taa, anyị na-asị ebe ọbụla na owe na-ekiri anyị na mkparịta ụwa dị iche iche ka inye aka na-atụsanye abụ ozi ma soro anyị ka iwe mara ife anyị ji maka ewe bịa n'ụbọchị taa. O nwere nwanne anyị nwoke nke anyị nabatara n'ụbọchị taa, anyị chọrọ ịgba ajụjụ ọnụ dịka ha si wee wetara anyị ife na-eme na ndụ ya na ndị Zenith Bank na Nigeria. Ya bụ ife na-emenụ ka ọ sị ka ọ bịa kọwara anyị. So ndị gịnwa bụ onye Igbo na-eso anyị, ife a ga-adị ezigbote oke mkpa na gịnwa na nwoge soro wee mara ife nya bụ ife ka o si wee gaa. Ya bụ nwanne anyị nwoke a na-akpọ Emeka, Mr. Emeka, ya bụ onye nwa bụ the CEO of Owigs and Obigs Nigeria Limited. Ya bụ nwa amadi bụ onye nke si na ndị Zenith Bank ji ụgwọ, and ndị Zenith Bank a chọrọ ịkwụ ya ụgwọ. So today anyị ga-anabata ya na studio ka o soro wee kọwaa ya bụ ife ka o si wee na-akpụ ya na ka o si wee chọọ ka ndị be anyị gee ya ntị n'onu. So as you are watching, please try to share the program so that a lot of people will witness what is going on in Nigeria, because Nigeria has become a problem to all the citizens. So ụmụnne m na ụmụnna m, as we are going to run the program today, anywhere you are, try to join and share and invite. Dịka anyị si wee kwuo n'ụbọchị tata bụ ụbọchị Orie Mmiri, Orie ga-eretara anyị niile ihe ọma n'aka Chukwu Okike abịa ma nke kere n'igwe kee n'ụwa mụrụ nwa ya ekerie. Chukwu anyị na-ekwu okwu bụ Chukwu omemgbe o nyere dibịa, omemgbe o nyere pastọ, omemgbe o nyere nne na nna. Chukwu na-eme ife niile nke mere na anyị niile nọ n'ụwa dị ndụ. Ọ Chukwu ka anyị na-eso. Obinwannem platform bụ ebe a na-agbasa eziokwu, ebe a na-ekwu ka esi dịrị onye Igbo mma, dịkwara ihe niile nọ n'ụwa bụ ndị chọrọ udo na mma. Dịka unu si wee na-ekiri anyị, ana m asị gị ndewo nọ n'ụbọchị tata, ka Chukwu nara ekene na mbuli elu n'aha ihe niile anyị ga-eme n'ụbọchị tata. Anyị na-ekwe ise 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 ise. So as I'm going to bring my people live on screen, anywhere you are watching Obinwannem Igbo News, you are watching Obinwannem TV, you are watching Obinwannem Media. Wherever you are watching, I say may God bless you. We are together on studio with Mr. Emeka and Mr. Chinecherem Ezeibekwe. I'm going to be calling them one by one so that they can introduce themselves, so that those that is watching, our followers and our family, will hear from their mouth one by one. So let's go to our brother Chinecherem Ezeibekwe. We give you the microphone to explain who you are and why you are here today. Thank you.
Hello, good day, ladies and gentlemen. It is a very lovely day for me to be on a video with my people. My name is Chinecherem Ezeibekwe. I am the MD of Christel Foundation. I am also a PA under Obinwannem's Foundation. So today, I am happy to be on the screen, to be among the people that want to bring unity to the land of the Igbos and to the other lands. So that is what I have for now.
Thank you, Ibekwe. Thank you. Let us now go to the mic of Mr. Emeka. Mr. Emeka, come and introduce yourself to the audience and the Obinwannem followers. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me at this point in time. I think it's a great pleasure to have this opportunity. I am Mr. Emeka, as earlier introduced, the Managing Director and the CEO of Owigs and Obigs Nigeria Limited. Actually, I'm here this moment to shed light on the issue, the plight of Owigs and Obigs, and with Zenith Bank in Nigeria, and to rally the global citizens through this platform, human rights activists, anti-corruption organizations, international business communities, and the Nigeria diaspora to demand restoration of justice to Owigs and Obigs. Thank you.
Hello, Mr. Emeka. It's like we're having a network problem. Please have a patience in a little while as we are trying to connect back to Emeka. You people know about Abuja now. Abuja, Nigeria. Everything about Nigeria is corrupt. Even network is not going to be steady. Emeka, you are welcome back. Continue. Mr. Emeka, you are welcome back. The network still happening. Mr. Emeka, are you hearing me?
Yes.
Okay, continue. You're welcome back. You have a little problem of network. I don't know if somebody called you or network. So go ahead.
Yes, I was actually saying
You're having a network problem. Please have a patience, and it will be good. Also, as you're watching, you try to share this program. It will help a lot of people because of what is going on in the Bank of Nigeria. Mr. Emeka, are you back?
Yes, I'm back, yes.
Okay, go ahead. Mike is with you.
Okay. I repeat, and this is to rally global citizens, human rights activists, anti-corruption organizations, international business communities, and Nigerians in diaspora to demand a restoration of justice to Owigs and Obigs over the 42 million and above debt owed us by Zenith Bank under the international contract breach. Thank you.
Okay, it's like you are back again. You see the network is having a little bit problem because of
yes.
Okay, yes. Continue.
Yeah, this is actually, if I should say, is a case study. This matter is really a case study of how Zenith Bank PLC similarly collude with judges to intimidate, oppress, and humiliate injured party over their fundamental corporate rights and sweep justice under the carpet. And this matter also reveals a new wave of judicial fraud that emerged in Supreme Court of Nigeria, where 4 judges rewrote contracts and altered international agreement outside the compiled record of the Supreme Court against the targeted party in favor of the defaulting party. And I believe that the public silence is not an option. So I can talk a little bit on the matter in a brief form because of our time. According to evidence on the certified true record of the Supreme Court, this is a case of enforcement of international agreement against the Zenith Bank for malicious breach of $64 million contract by failing to confirm a letter of credit after receiving payments, and then sudden disappearance of entrusted funds belonging to Owigs and Obigs Nigeria Limited. And due to corruption in the Nigerian judicial system, 4 judges of Supreme Court seemingly formed a rescue team to save Zenith Bank from itself, to withstand case outside the court's own record, beyond recognition, stumped, can't even explain own judgment, and made mockery of judiciary. Now, the basis of our complaint, yes. To the Nigerian authorities, especially the Chief Justice of Nigeria, we presented to the Chief Justice of Nigeria a distress complaint based on documentary and the legal evidence from the certified record of Supreme Court, which clearly showed how the 4 judges of the Supreme Court, by their verdict, falsified documents, rewrote international contracts and agreement between parties, which was applied as basis to form a fictitious judgment outside the court's record had imposed on the parties in favor of Zenith Bank, the defaulting party, which was to prevent the defaulting party from being held responsible and liable for its own decisions and actions. Based on this, a petition of the viral injustice was submitted to the National Judicial Council, which was equally complicit in the atrocity committed by the judges of Supreme Court against the dissenting judge, because this was not an error. It is not a mistake. It is a deliberate injustice against the record of the court. The dissenting judge stood tall against injustice and accused the judges of sweeping justice under the carpet. Because how can judges formulate case outside the record presented to them or handed over to them by Supreme Court and manufacture a judgment that does not exist or traceable to the record compiled by the court, and I impose it on parties with a label of Supreme Court? And by implication, Supreme Court is not aware of such judgment because it's not traceable to their record. So this is the nature and the depth of the injustice. And the question now, which I'm not one asking, is this: why did the Zenith Bank agree to confirm the letter of credit as a party, accepted the letter of credit for confirmation as a party, received the payment for confirmation when it knew it was not going to confirm the LOC? This is not my question. These are investor questions. They are regulatory questions. And they are global market questions. So I want to make it clear to Zenith Bank that this matter will follow Zenith Bank to the boardrooms. It follows Zenith Bank to compliance reviews, to corresponding banking discussions, and the risk assessment. And that is why I am rallying global citizens, including indeed human rights activists, anti-corruption organizations, international business communities, and Nigeria in diaspora to look into this matter. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Emeka, for the presentation you have give us because of what you are going through with the Zenith Bank of Nigeria. We have to now go to Mr. Chinecherem Ezeibekwe. Mr. Chinecherem Ezeibekwe, what do you have to say from what our brother is going through in Nigeria, Zenith Bank? If you have a question, you ask him. If you have a contribution, go ahead, because our brother is crying for the help. So we are here to help and make sure that the whole world listen and understand what is going through with Zenith Bank. Thank you, and have your microphone.
Hello, can you hear me?
I'm hearing you loud and clear.
Yeah, okay. Mr. Emeka Okorie, it is very nice of me to be on the screen with you.
Thank you.
I welcome you with love, because I always let people know that any issue that I will address for the Obinwannem Foundation with no love, no one should give me attention. So I am very interested in this your situation. about the Zenith Bank because I bank with Zenith Bank. So every evidence we got from you officially, we have to make this, we have to put this in a table that we must know the end of this, because you cannot tell me that I came up to do something with you and I have the evidence because of the system Nigeria has put this, that Nigeria has put everybody, that makes no one knows the right thing to do. So my question is that about this business you had with Zenith Bank, which date was that, and the business, the money transferred officially? Did you have any evidence, any proof you can give me? Because I know the people listen to me, yeah? So do you have any evidence of this? Is there any written contract agreement of everything? You can say, oh, this is what you made with them officially.
Okay. I couldn't get part of the question, but I can just try to understand what you are trying to say. This is an international business transaction involving 4 parties: Industrial and
Okay.
Commercial Bank of China, Zenith Bank PLC, Owigs and Obigs, and the foreign company. There were 4 parties. It's a quadrilateral agreement. Now, it involves export of solid minerals worth of $64 million. And under that contract, Zenith Bank is a confirming bank, and Owigs and Obigs is the seller. Industrial and Commercial Bank of China is the issuing bank. So the agreement was concluded. It was in writing, not in verbal. Now, Zenith Bank, as a confirming bank, has the role of confirming letter of credit. And the seller, Mr. Owigs and Obigs, has the duty of a shipment of goods based on the confirmed letter of credit. Industrial and Commercial Bank of China has the duty of issuing LC to Zenith Bank for confirmation. So, all the parties are assigned with a contractual obligation, and it is interdependent and interrelated, meaning one depends on the other. So, the contract has become operational. All the parties have fulfilled their contract terms. When it gets to Zenith Bank, because of unresolved background issues, Zenith Bank maliciously breached this contract. Zenith Bank requested that the payment that is coming to Owigs and Obigs in dollars will be paid to Owigs and Obigs on Naira. These are the illicit demand. We rejected. Zenith Bank was asking for money outside the official confirmation fee, which it has received. Zenith Bank has been paid officially for the LC confirmation so that the shipment of goods will be activated. After it has received the official, based on agreement, official fee for confirmation, Zenith Bank, outside the contract terms, outside the global market rules, outside the uniform customs and practice, outside the agreement, Zenith Bank begin to request another illicit payment which does not exist under banking rules. It's not traceable to any banking, any banking rules, or regulatory policy or government policy. And we did not grant Zenith Bank this illicit demand. So this is the unresolved background issue that makes Zenith Bank, after it has received payment for LC, Zenith Bank refused to confirm, so they breached the contract. So this is what happened. It breached it and activated the default liability. And the money that was kept in trust with the Zenith Bank disappeared, activating the pre-existing default liabilities, because the contract came with a pre-existing liability from the beginning. So the parties are aware of the breach consequences, and Zenith Bank is aware of it. Owigs is aware of it. The International Commercial Commission is aware of it. All the parties are aware that at any breach, there will be automatic activation of default liabilities. Now, the contract between me and Zenith Bank, Owigs and Zenith Bank, is a contract of LC confirmation. That was a contract Zenith Bank breached maliciously, without any reason, without any explanation, without any, warning. Out of malicious conduct, it was breached. And because they believe they can do it and get away with it, because of the corruption in the system, forgetting that this is an international contract, it's not a Nigerian contract. It has international standard rule that governs it globally. So that's what happened. Zenith Bank said, okay, they are going to resolve the matter. They had an agreement to settle the issue and pay off their liability. We thought they are serious with us, but they didn't honor the agreement. It's a mutual agreement. So this is what now took us to court to seek for redress. Unfortunately, the court turned to another thing that I can't explain. Thank you.
Okay, please, Mr. Emeka Okorie, in what year was this issue was made? In what year?
Okay, the contract was 2014.
2014.
It was breached, yes. And
2014 it was breached, yeah.
Yes, the case concluded in Supreme Court in 2024.
As they repeat again.
The contract was breached in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Why we concluded from the Supreme Court in 2024? That is last year.
Okay. My question again is that what are the names of these third parties, and can you explain more people
Okay.
the business, this business, and which kind of business?
Okay, let me explain to you in a very brief term. Now, this business is a special form of international contract. It is quadrilateral. It is 4-party agreement comprising 4 autonomous contracts. Now, each party has a contractual obligation to perform each of these contracts because there are 4. So now there are Owigs and Obigs, Zenith Bank, Industrial Commercial Bank of China, the foreign buyer. Now we are the exporter here, and they are the importer and overseas. So the contracts between Owigs and Obigs and Zenith Bank is a contract of LC confirmation. It's only 2-party contract. Then another contract, which is between Owigs, the seller, and the buyer. That is between Owigs and Obigs and the foreign company. Another contract is a contract between the issuing bank and the Zenith Bank. That's the 3rd contract. Another contract is between the foreign buyer and the issuing bank. So you can see there are 4 autonomous contracts under the international contract. They are called autonomous because they are the smaller contract. Yes, the head contract is a contract number SEC, a contract number JY, and KTT. So these are the 4 contracts it has, and each of that 4 contracts, only 2 parties are involved. Just the way I enumerated now. Now, the fundamental credit term of that contract, because it's a credit contract, is a LC confirmation. Zenith Bank is the party that has a contract of LC confirmation. Owigs and Obigs is the party that has a contract of shipment of goods. Shipment of goods is tied to the confirmation of letter of credit. It is the LC confirmation that triggers the operations of achievement of goods. And without the LC confirmation, the goods cannot be shipped according to the contract terms and the international trade protocol. Now, that is the contract. So let me concentrate on the export side, the contract between us and Zenith Bank. Now, each of these contracts now is tied to the main contract. Once you breach any of this contract, it automatically terminates the entire contract. So I've given you the 4 parties involved in that contract, in the contract, and the 4 contracts that is comprised under that international contract. Now, let me go further. The first contract between the buyer, the foreign buyer, and the buyer's bank, known as the LC issuing bank, it was performed. The contract between the issuing bank, that's the foreign bank, and Zenith Bank was performed. Now, the contract between Zenith Bank and Owigs and Obigs was breached without remedy, which terminated the entire contract. I mean, the 64 million contract. And Zenith Bank started to run away to escape the liability it brought upon itself, using judges of Nigerian courts to escape, which is not possible. Now, the issue now is not the issue of a judgment that was given and we are not satisfied. No. It is a case of a judgment that does not exist, a fraudulent judgment that is not traceable to the record. Supreme Court had a record, a file that contains this matter. This file was handed over to the judges to use as basis to decide the matter. Now, that file is what we are saying now, that the judgment is not traceable to the file. They rewrote the contract and formulated things that not exist outside the Supreme Court record. Meaning, the Supreme Court, by implication, is not aware of this judgment. This fraudulent judgment, I'm not aware of it because it is not known in their record. Supreme Court is not related at all to that judgment, because if you present the Supreme Court record now, that judgment is not from that file. It is a different matter, not related to the matter before the Supreme Court. These corrupt judges went and fabricated and then manufactured a judgment and then imposed. Under that judgment, one thing happened. They rewrote the contract, they wrote the agreements against the admission of Zenith Bank. Zenith Bank admitted according to the compiled record, because what we are saying is based on evidence. Anything see me say here now, because the matter has been confined to court. So we rely on the court record now and the evidence by that court record. I'm not going outside the court record. According to court record, Zenith Bank admitted that it breached the contract. Zenith Bank admitted it received payment to do its job, but it failed. Zenith Bank admitted it's a part of the contract. But this judgment, this fraudulent judgment by these 4 judges, now held that Zenith Bank was not a part of the contract.
Okay. Are you with me? Hello.
Are you hearing me?
Can you hear me? No, a little bit.
Yes. Zenith Bank admitted is a party in the contract. It received payment to do the contract, but it failed. The documentary evidence of the contract showed clearly that Zenith Bank breached the contract.
Again, this
Hello?
is network.
Hello?
Yes.
I can hear you.
Hello? Are you hearing me?
No, I can hear you.
What we're saying now is based on the record by Supreme Court. It's not me now talking now. It's the record of Supreme Court talking now to you people now. According to the record, Zenith Bank was a part in the contract. Zenith Bank was paid to do the elusive confirmation contract. Zenith Bank received the payment, accepted the payment, accepted the elusive confirmation, but failed without reason. This is the record of the court now. It's not me now talking now. But these 4 corrupt judges now manufactured a judgment outside this record, which says that Zenith Bank did not breach a contract. Zenith Bank is not a party. It is the innocent party which did not participate in the decision and action that breached the contract to be held liable. How is that possible? Just for instance now, your son said you are the father. The mother said you are the father. The relative say you are the father. DNA say you are the father of this son. Now, this is a fact now that is not in dispute between all members of the of your family and the evidence of the DNA. In law, such facts that is not in dispute cannot form an issue. But it's not in dispute. This is the case in the Supreme Court. The Bank said he is the party. He breached the contract. Documentary evidence says the Bank breached the contract, is liable for the breach. The Bank admitted is liable for the breach. We, who are the appellants, filed evidence according to the records that Zenith Bank breached. The global rules that govern the trade says Zenith Bank is liable. The trade customs and practice that regulate the transaction says Zenith Bank is liable. Now, these 4 judges outside this record now says Zenith Bank is not liable. So how is that possible?
Okay. I acknowledge a bit of your explanation, and I want to stick focus on the attention of the problems in the moment, and the implement steps to solve and to improve this situation. So because I understand that you are on 95% trustworthy that this case you have all the evidences, because today now we are online, and I can assure you that a lot of millions of people will watch you and I, because the reason why, the purpose I am here for you, is to have the real information from the mouth source, from you in particular. Because if your lawyers are involved with all this evidence, and we have all these things we need, we promise you we stand in this circle of avengers to make sure we find justice for you. Because Zenith Bank, you cannot come into a business that have one or two or third parties and breach the contract without having any proof and without having any excuses. So I can understand you properly, but I can also assure you, if you want us to make this more, so that the international we also hear about this, we are ready for this. So we need more of the changes, and we have to make this this theme of conversation more. And I personally, we will join. I have to write more to Zenith Bank. They should come and explain more clearly about this thing. When we don't find anything from them, they have to see that there are things we can do in a little of us. So I appreciate that you give me the courage for me because I have been following your issue from since last year, and I
Wow.
am happy that I heard from you physically. So now we have to make this as example, and
Yeah.
more of the things we have to do, because of in Nigerians, the insecurities of the systematic of Nigerian judicial system. We know is something you and I cannot explain, but we must do something about this. So my last question, please, Mr. Emeka. Okay. Okay. My last question is that how long have you spent how much have you spent on this particular issue that has been draining you down, taking your time with all these things? How much have you spent on all this situation, in this situation?
You say actually right from the legal pursuit of this matter, we spend millions and spend money in the hundreds, above hundreds of millions, for legal pursuit of this matter. Now, the other evidence we have run because of the deception from Zenith Bank that called us for a meeting to resolve the matter. Twice we had a meeting with Zenith Bank at their own request to end up wasting our time, not being able to honor that meeting. And this has involved international trips and engagement of foreign bodies, because this matter has gone to UK Parliament. This matter, as we speak now, has gone to ECOWAS. As we speak now, it's the United Nations, who are asking them to come and explain whether we are lying or not more than that. Let them come and tell the words. Zenith Bank could not talk.
Okay.
Now, yes. Now, in the same thing happened in the court. We went to court. Our brief was if you say our brief, few pages, we're not talking much. Evidences were there. We're asking the court to let Zenith Bank come and explain what he did with the LOC and money paid to it. And they prove us as liars. Zenith Bank could not. The dissenting judge indicted other judges, the 4 judges, that Zenith Bank, by his own admission, breached this contract. Meaning, Zenith Bank admitted liability. It is in writing and is in record. Why do you want to bury justice? This is the judge now, indicting fellow judges in the same panel. It's not my word. Now I say something. Anything I say now is the record of court. It's not Emeka speaking now. Speaking the record of the court. Now, the judge said that Zenith Bank will be held liable for his decisions and actions, because it's practically impossible for Zenith Bank to be paid to do a job. He did not do the job. He collected the money. He did not return the money. He breached the contract. He wants to escape. To where? It is considered as the worst judicial injustice in Nigerian history by many. But this is like a broad day robbery. Now, let me shock you now. Because this judgment, this fraudulent judgment, was not based on compiled record. Do you know the judges, these 4 judges, could not explain that judgment?
Where are they from? All those judges.
They could not explain the judgment. Because why? It is twisted beyond recognition. It is fabricated. It is based on forged document, which is not traceable to the compiled record of the court. In a normal country now, they're supposed to force the judges to explain where they source they get this judgment. Let me give you one instance now. One that will shock you now. Under this contract and other international uniform customs and practice, the seller's bank cannot and can never be the LC issuing bank. The case we brought before the Supreme Court of Nigeria, according to Supreme Court records, was a case between the confirming bank and the seller. Zenith Bank is a confirming bank, and we are the seller. Let me shock you now. Based on the fraudulent judgment by these 4 judges, they rewrite the appeal and change it from a case between Owigs and Obigs and the foreign buyer. Can you imagine that? Now, furthermore, let me shock you further. Zenith Bank told the court under oath that it is a confirming bank. Documentary evidence of the contract showed that Zenith Bank is a confirming bank. The trade customs and the practice show that Zenith Bank is a confirming bank. The Supreme Court judicial president show that Zenith Bank as a seller's bank is a confirming bank. Do you know what happened? These 4 judges falsified their contract outside that court record, which holds Zenith Bank as the confirming bank. And Zenith Bank knows it's not the which was Zenith Bank as the issuing bank, and Zenith Bank knows that it's not the issuing bank. So Zenith Bank was afraid, was ashamed of this judgment, because they believe that once we get to Supreme Court, it becomes like a buried ground. Judgment issued there cannot be questioned. So they believe they will silence media, but they forget that the truth cannot be silenced. So they were so careless about the forgery of the documents, which they use as basis to enter the court judgment. The question we should ask ourselves now is this: why is no Supreme Court talking to these judges? Because Supreme Court gave them a record, say use this record, and they look into this matter. They went and form a contract that does not exist. Now, this contract which they use to form the judgment, Zenith Bank is not a party to it. You see where the problem is now. Zenith Bank cannot defend it. We are not a party to it. China is not a party to it. The foreign bank is not a party to it. Is a fictitious contract does not exist. So these judges sat, now they falsify this contract, now fabricated parties and put. So this is where the problem is now. I've written to the Chief Justice of Nigeria. Can you show me where this contract came from, which was imposed on us? The Supreme Court could not. We wrote to the Judicial Council, said this is a fraud committed by judges under you. And this fraud now is like you carry a Coke in a bottle and put a label of a Fanta. You don't need to be a lawyer to know that this is a fraud. The color of Coke is red. The color of a Fanta is red. And put a label of a Coke. How do you reconcile this now? It is very obvious and clear to the eyes. This is the judgment. It's another matter that is not connected to the case before the court. It's not related to it. They manufactured outside the record and they impose it by almost by force because they call it a Supreme Court. So this is the issue now. The judges, the court cannot explain it because it is fraud, it's criminal. The dissenting judge has told the whole world that his hand is not there, that this judgment is fraudulent. It's not me now. It's the dissenting judge from the same panel that indicted other judges, that this judgment does not exist anywhere. Now, the panel of 2 judges declares Zenith Bank as a dent in the image of the whole nation. It is on record. They declare Zenith Bank as a non-professional bank, warning Nigerian public that this bank has dented the image of the whole nation for what they did to me. These things are on evidence, on record. These are judgments I'm telling you about Zenith Bank from the court. They asked Zenith Bank to be liable for the actions it activated. The money is owing under this bridge. It should pay. Zenith Bank keep playing me up and down. Today, they will hold meeting. The chairman, they say, okay, we're going to settle you. I won't hear anything again. Tomorrow, they will call another meeting again. We won't hear anything again after the meeting. He's playing up and down, playing up and down. Years are going, time are going. So we have to cry to the whole world to come to our aid. We have evidence. What we are saying to you is based on documentary evidence. Because the matter has gone out of between us and Zenith Bank. It was in the court. So we rely on the evidence that cannot be deniable. Evidence that's certified by the court. Evidence that is on record. It's not that I said, this man said. No, it is written. What is written, you cannot change. It does not change. I'm speaking to you based on what is written, certified by the Supreme Court of Nigeria. So the court is afraid now to let this thing come up because they can't defend it. So they were trying to hide it, but they cannot. That's the problem now. The court is afraid for it to come to the public because it is not hard up. Let me give you a knowledge of what happened now. I brought a car to a mechanic. The mechanic took a record for repair. This is a car. This is the number. This is the color. This is the fault of the car. And then he gave me an invoice that this is what it cost me to repair the car. I went with the invoice. When I come back to pick the car, what I saw now is a bicycle. Not even a motorbike, just a bicycle. What is the connection between bicycle and the car? And I said, no, what I brought to you is a car now. This is the evidence of the invoice you gave to me now. This is the evidence of the invoice you gave to me. It is car I brought to you. See the number of my car. See the color. See the car I brought to you. You gave me invoice. Everything is there. It's the evidence. It's not in question. I cannot argue it. And you are imposing it to me that it's a bicycle I brought. This is what happened in Supreme Court. The case we brought to the judges. Zenith Bank know what they did. I'm not saying because I don't have evidence. I was not there to say they bribed the judges, but we know what happened in between them. Because average person knows that something went under as usual. It's corruption. Civil servants don't apply for bribes officially. So they will have done what they did. Now, and they're telling me it's the bicycle. Zenith Bank itself told the court under oath that yes, this matter before the court is a court of issue of enforcement of agreements. That's what I brought to the court. Because Zenith Bank refused to settle after agreeing to settle, and now I went to the court enforce Zenith Bank to honor the agreement in writing that he signed. Let him honor it and pay and set me off. The moment that disappeared, that's what we took us to court. Nothing more than that, because there is an established evidence that Zenith Bank breached this contract. It is not in question, just like I said earlier. Zenith Bank admitted the breach. Evidence on records of the court clearly showed there was a breach by Zenith Bank. Supreme Court record says Zenith Bank is liable for the breach. The customs and practice of the global trade protocol holds Zenith Bank liable for the breach. So it's not in question whether Zenith Bank breached. Zenith Bank itself admitted that it breached. So it's not in question, it's undisputed facts according to the record now, not me talking now. It's according to the record of Supreme Court. So based on this fact now, we will now ask the court to enforce Hello?
Hello, I can hear you, sir.
The court asked Zenith Bank, did you understand the agreement before you signed? Zenith Bank told the court that he read and understood before he signed. The court asked you again, during cross-examination, are you aware there are consequences when you breach a contract? Zenith Bank admitted is aware. It's cutting now. That's right. It's cutting. And they will do me like this.
Hello, I can hear you.
Yeah, so this is just the issue, I don't want to repeat because of network is frustrating. I don't want to be repeating the same thing over and over.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Emeka Okorie. I probably understand you clear, and I want to work for you and work with you because of when a situation happens to somebody when you are not in the position, nobody understands how you feel. Nobody understands how you feel. So putting things in the reference is the reason why I'm seeking to understand you properly. And now we have this evidence, and after this video we have put online publicly, we have to continue to make so much effort that we reach the Zenith Bank so that they will have to hear from you and they settle you properly. It's very important because we have to make this properly so that the people have to, because this situation, I can tell you that it's not as in published officially, because when people see this proof, when I began to see this proof from you, I guarantee you that Zenith Bank will call you and this case have to be resolved. Or we have to speak from this January till December will be the topic of Zenith Bank. They have to give this improper treatment with respect. I bank with Zenith Bank and I love Zenith Bank and I hope that they can hear me. I love Zenith Bank. But in this situation, we stand here for the reference to stand for the people who are being tortured by the societies. So that is why we are here for you. So I'm happy to hear from you, and there is a very gladdening time with you. And I hope that we will work everything gradually with love. Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you,
appreciate
thank you,
Thank you.
Mr. Chinecherem Ezeibekwe. Thank you so much for the question and also the interaction, because this is first time I'm hearing from you, and my colleague is hearing from you. But of course, Nigerians, even Zenith Bank knows who I am, because who don't know Obinwannem news, Obinwannem D. We are the one that is anchoring Biafra struggle so that we can be free from this kind of dungeon of Nigeria. Because Nigeria is a country that everybody is crying, what is going on, you know. But the question I have to ask you right now is just a question concerning me as a media director, as a somebody that is on the field of media, is that how many stations in Nigeria you have reported this case to?
you mean media stations or
The
authority?
media stations like Arise News, Channel TV, AIT, and I think NTA, all those news channels. How many of them have you reported this case to?
Well, actually, I've tried to push across, but it's like they are scared of Supreme Court, not really wanting to understand. So I now use conventional media. I did adverts on Sun newspaper, the Punch newspaper is aware of it. They publish it. The Daily Trust, the Vanguard, the Guardian, the This Day, several online, media from Nigeria has.
Okay. Have you? I know about Nigeria media is a corrupt. That is, even in the international community, we don't recognize Nigeria media, or just we are using Nigeria media to get information of what is going on in Nigeria. What about something like CNN, Al Jazeera, and BBC?
Yes, we have reached BBC, it is Al Jazeera, but the media guy, I don't know, they disappointed me because we've even coordinated a protest in London. I have the evidence in front of the UK Parliament. Because of the evidence we have, it's overwhelming. And they're investigating the matter. They have even invited Zenith Bank, UK Parliament, UK Limited, on the matter. And due to the challenge of my media consultant there, the Al Jazeera and BBC could not cover the protest that I did in London.
Okay.
Early this year, yes. So as a result of that, because it has stalled, the process. It was during that, UK investigation that the chairman of the bank approached us that he wants to settle. He doesn't want further escalation. And we felt relieved. After discussions, what happened? The same issue we had before we went to court, the same issue, they didn't honor it again. So I now decided to, draw attention of ECOWAS, because ECOWAS has a charter that gives them the rights to overturn a judgment, arbitrary judgment by any Supreme Court of the member nations. And then the matter is in ECOWAS and we copy Zenith Bank. to go and tell ECOWAS that we are lying. That's why we copied them. Then to United Nations, we copy Zenith Bank as well. To go and then tell United Nations that, oh, all these things are not true. Then we've written to the Nigerian National Assembly, to the Senate, to the House of Assembly on the same matter. The Judicial Council, we have written Judicial Council on the matter. This is the fraud the judges under you committed without minding against the public, against Nigeria. Broad day robbery. Evidence were presented, because you don't take such a step without evidence. Otherwise, you go to court and jail. Evidence from the court on record were presented to the Judicial Council. And this is what the Zenith Bank colluded with your judges to rob Nigeria, because the law said the judgment is interest of the public, to rob the public. And who, like, caught them red-handed. This is a broad day robbery operation. Nothing is done. So on this basis, we'll gather everything with other medias, and then Ona went to United Nations. This is what I've done. So right now, I am still working with Channel TV. They said, I have an arrangement to discuss with them. They're supposed to have a meeting with me today. It was scheduled through my contact too. And they Arise about the whole information. They said they are studying it. So issue I'm having, they have another media guy I consulted. I paid for AIT because I had a media press conference, paid for AIT, paid for Arise television, paid for 3 major television channels. But unfortunately, the guy mismanaged the money. He didn't pay them, and they couldn't cover the media, what do you call it? They couldn't cover the media presentation, so they couldn't cover it. So since then, I don't have any. There's no, media house.
Yes.
Okay. Wait. Chinecherem, wait. Why I ask you those questions, because I know what I can do, and they must hear from you very fast, but it requires some support, because I have a lot of people that I can contact, even international media, even German media. We can report, we can contact them, and we can make it to go beyond their limit, because everything about Nigeria, everybody knows that nothing comes there genuinely. So what I have to tell you, if after this program, we have to also discuss the way we can push the narrative so that it can go viral, and you will be receiving call as many as to prove that we have done something different. So Chinecherem, you can go ahead and ask a question so we can round up.
Yes, as the chief host, I thank you for your effort and for bringing us to in this platform. So, Mr. Emeka Okechukwu, I present you confidently, and I have to nurture you a way we will use to make this. I know about media in Nigeria, so it's not going on the TV is the problem, because all the TVs are also Zenith Bank, So, but this is online. We talk privately, and we have to know, as in talk more of this, and we have to push it under how they will be able to reach you up to, because this is your right. And once it's your right and the evidence is there, the Zenith Bank have to come and clear out to the world that they are right or wrong. That is where I stand. So thanking you people for inviting me, making me the guest on this studio, and I felt so energy melody fills my heart, and I thank everybody, and also thank the people who watched us, that with time we have to analyze more and brings what we can offer for this. So thank you very much.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
very much.
You're welcome.
Now I have to go to Uzoma. Uzoma, is there anything you have to tell the world and tell our people and tell Nigerians and to whom it may concern about this case? Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I've been listening to Emeka, the Owigs and Obigs, and I heard what Chinecherem, all the question he asked, and your own. In summary, when this matter started, 2014, I was in Abuja with Emeka, and I know how everything went. The only thing there is that Zenith Bank is not the first time they cheated this way. They even did the same thing to one of my friends too, who brought money from abroad to build a refinery at Edo State. Zenith have to seize that money till today. They frustrated the guy. He went everywhere and they frustrated the guy. That was how the money left. So the only advice I give to Nigerians, most especially the businessmen that used to do business and they contact Zenith Bank, they should stop using that bank. That bank is evil. It's evil. It's a political bank in Nigeria. It's not a bank. It cannot help anybody. This Emeka Okorie and the piece of this have shown that yes, these banks are political. If they can bribe by Supreme Court, the judges, and they turn everything upside down against somebody, you can see that it's a political bank. So my advice is that big men should withdraw from this bank. They are evil. Simple. And I want people, I heard everything you said. Please, Chinecherem and Obinwannem, make sure you do a perfect work to bring them to book, let them pay. They must pay that money. Because had it been that contract that time, they executed it. By now, so many Nigerians will benefit from it. The young youths, employment, everything. But they just terminated the contract. Just run immediately and carry 2% performance bond placed by Owigs and Obigs and transfer it to China without his information. Is it not evil? It's evil. That's the only comment I have to give because Emeka have explained everything. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Emeka, is there any last word you have to tell the world, after you hear us so that we can just close so that this program will not last more than what I'm expected because I just position it 1 hour so that people can hear it very well. Upon network disturb us. Go ahead and just make a remarkable statement.
Thank you very much. I think we've said it all. All I have to add is that injustice to one, injustice to all. So let the global citizens, like I earlier said, and human rights activists and Nigerians in diaspora demand the restoration of justice to Owigs. It's brother. Sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So I really appreciate everyone, as you people here, no matter even network was, trying to frustrate us, but after all, we present something that our listener can understand a little bit what we are doing. Even we are going to come back and address our people in Igbo language so that our people also, those our people that are doing business and the banking in the Zenith Bank, so that they can understand what is going on. Like Uzoma said, that is the slogan we can use if they misbehave. But for the first time, we have to, make it to become moderate so that they will not see us like we just jump and we didn't hear from them and we begin to do what we are doing. So my partners and my colleagues, we are going to write the bank direct from all the way to Germany. We have about almost 4 foundations that we are partnering here in Germany. We have to send a letter to them. If they do not respond, then we have to make sure that we let the whole world know that Zenith Bank are not good to be used for those ones that don't have a power to speak in public. Because who they do this thing is people that cannot defend themselves. You understand? So I believe even the person that calling me now is Stone, which is I don't have the time again. So we have to close. When are you going to have time again so that we can now run it in Igbo language so that we can let our people to know? Do you have a time And
you can give me your time. Yes, I work with your time.
Okay, no problem. Then when we go down, I have to communicate with Stone and my team. Then we'll know when we'll come back and address Igbo people so that they will understand exactly what we are saying. So we are going to be coming time to time to be giving the word, the issue about this Zenith Bank. So thank you all for coming, and I wish you people a nice day. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you all.
It's my pleasure.
Obinwannem Global Radio, promoting the culture and traditions of Igbo Nation. Obinwannem Global Radio, the unity of culture of Igbo Nation. Obinwannem Global Cultural Movement Foundation. Our mission: to restore the honor and dignity of Igbo Nation and its citizens. To restore the pride of Ndi Igbo through the re-establishment of our self-esteem in the true spirit of love and support for one another. To ensure that our past trials and tribulations are turned into a glorious future. To rebuild the strength of Ndi Igbo through her bond of unity. To ensure that Igbo Nation reinvent herself and get back on track in order to regain her pride of place in the world. To reinvigorate the ingenuity of Ndi Igbo through self-rediscovery and self-actualizations. To see that no Igbo child or citizen is left behind in the grand scheme of things. For inquiries, call Director Chineke Ugwu Okechukwu, Ukraine on +380 975 221413.
With over 87 million people living in extreme poverty in Nigeria, corruption and poor governance only worsen the situation. That's why Caregivers International Corporation, an American-based organization, is committed to making a difference. We prioritize helping the poor and vulnerable in the 5 Igbo states: Abia, Anambra, Enugu, Ebonyi, and Imo, providing aid to those in need, empowering youth through development programs, and promoting accountability in governance. We believe that those in power must be held responsible for their actions. That's why we'll take any governor to the highest court of law if they abuse their power or engage in corrupt practices even after they've left office. Join us in our mission to create positive change. Follow us on Facebook, X, formerly Twitter, YouTube, and Telegram at Caregivers International Corporation. Together, we can build a brighter future for the vulnerable populations. Signed, Chief Daniel Chika, Chairman, CEO, Caregivers International Corporation.